My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. Today I am reviewing Ivory Root Eau de Parfum by the house of Xerjoff, and I haven't reviewed anything of theirs for quite a while. This is €170 for 50ml. Doesn't say the notes. It's so strange this when it goes on about all this arty stuff. In keeping with the rare nature of those Xerjoff perfumes, ingredients are kept a closely guarded secret. Instead of inviting the wearer to immerse themselves in the imagined world, explorers unite with Ivory Root. Okay, I cannot say anything about that. You'll know when I release it, kind of what I got planned. I can't say any more. That's so cryptic. Wait, it's got no notes. It just says it's spicy, sweet, woody, oriental, and smoky. I'm kind of going for Granska. Spicy notes: sandalwood, allspice, patchouli, and basil. Okay. Do we have a bottles of Ivory Root by Xerjoff? Are we engaged with the high stuff? Let's get testing. Let's have a look at the atomizer. I do love the bottles. I love the metal cap. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. Iconical. It's just very lovely. Okay, so let's apply the fragrance and see what we think. So this has got that Xerjoff thing. And the Xerjoff thing is the use of nitro musk combined with vanilla and coumarin. That's kind of, they have a sweet, clean core to them. There's an incensey quality to this, which I love. Incensey, woody finish to it. The use of musk in this is like phenomenal. I tell you why I say that is because musks are an aroma chemical which some people are as nosmic to. And you really have to work very hard when you're training to understand what they do. I think it's one of the most hardest things actually, because they you have to work harder. And how I started off was by getting a formula, starting off with galaxolide, ethylene brassylate, tetralate, habanolide, habetalide, muscol, romanolide, all these things. So I'd put one in at a time and sort of evaluate it and see what it did at the same concentration. And then started to blend it. So then started to put this with that. So we'd do a musk accord and then started to educate my brain. And it actually was really hard because I had to work very, very hard to actually detect musk, because some of them you can't smell, some you can't smell at all. I can now, but that's through being very diligent and working every day at it. And now I find it quite easy, but that's after like over a decade of work, I would say. What I love about this is the sweetness. That's what we call vanillin, either vanillin and coumarin combined with nitrous musk. That is gorgeous. I really appreciate that. But what I love more is the way this doesn't smell musk heavy. This is just a cacophony of a musk accord combined with citruses. Radiant. I love umbrettalide. Umbrettalide is a musk I particularly love. Just bought 20 kilograms of it, and it's very, very expensive. It's one of the most expensive musks, and there's different types of umbrettalide. There's eco-friendly umbrettalide, and then there's not eco-friendly umbrettalide. And I think one comes from insects and one does not. And they smell different, but the same. That kind of makes sense. Umbrettalide gives you, it does a lot actually, but when you mix with patchouli, lemon, pink pepper, elmley, it enhances that incense finish in a formula, and it also gives a berry finish and also gives lift and brightness. And that's what's happening within this formula, based upon Ivory Super. Smooth, soft, whipped, delicious. I wonder what Ivory, I hate these of Ivory. My grandmother had some Ivory when I was growing up and I hated it when I found out what it was. A little old compounds having to give further lift and give brightness to a formula. Onto my final thoughts. I love this. I think it's very, very nice. It smells of a signature scent. This is going to be long lasting. This is just going to go on and on and on. It is not the most voluminous formula, but that is the nature of the fragrance. When you have a formula that is designed to give you longevity, a substantial nature, you are gonna sacrifice some of the volume in the formula. I would have loved a bit more volume in this. And I'm not talking a lot, I'm talking just a little bit more. But that wood, incense, vanillic quality is very delicious. And it actually, think about Ivory. Ivory's that sort of like that cream color. It does kind of in keeping with that sort of color of Ivory. Very lovely, quite simplistic, not on my skin. We're in quite a warm room, not particularly the most radiant thing. I would have loved a little bit more radiance to it. I kind of got to be honest with you, it's sitting very heavy and I would have loved a little bit more radiance, or I'm going to layer something over the top of this, you know, with a little bit more volume. I think this is a lovely, clean, sweet smelling fragrance, but I would love some volume with it. And that's kind of what's missing to me. But I love this sort of this berry aspect to it, the incense aspect to it, the sweetness to it. I think it's just really, really delicious. I'm going to mark this an 8 out of 10. I think this is a masterclass on how to work with musks. I think this is a really tricky, a technical, tricky formula. I would have just loved some volume. I would have just loved a little bit more volume to it. If we could have got that, it would have been a 10. And just because it's lacking that, I think that's really fair. But I think it's lovely. I could recommend this for us. It's a signature scent. I think this smells sophisticated. I think it smells really, really delicious and gorgeous, actually. It's unisex. I think it is, as a signature scent, this is something where you wear it to all occasions. You wouldn't wear it for sport, or maybe not going out. In the summer, you'd wear less of it, but in the winter, I think it's where it would shine. And I think it's particularly lovely. So I hope you love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe for fascinating, interesting content. Lots of moving hands and lots of fragrance views. Hope staying safe and well. See you soon.